Hey guys, Andrew here from the Reach Company. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about creating a form, adding fields, connecting it to MailChimp, making sure it goes to who it needs to go to. And what came up in particular was the sponsor a student area. Instead of just like sending an email, like over here at Leave a Legacy, we want to send a form to Jay Shire. And so right now, if I click on sponsor a student, it's just an empty page. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up Page Builder. So if you need to make a page for this, like maybe you have a landing page, you just want to collect information off of that form, you can do it like this. And what I'm going to do here is go to templates. I've made a form page template for you guys. And when you click on it, it just populates it with some dummy content. And you can change the information here to be whatever you want. But you'll see right here, this is still just another form. So we're going to have to create a form and replace this form with it. And so to do that, I'm going to click done and publish so we can go ahead and save this page and come back to it, and we're going to go to our dashboard and create a form. So Tamar, and from here we can go to our forms area, and to do that we can go to forms and click on forms, and this brings up a list of the forms we currently have on the website. Sometimes if you have a simple form, you can just duplicate it. Like a contact page form, has name, email, phone, etc. The normal details. And I usually use my contact form as like a starting place for more complex forms. For the sake of the tutorial, though, I'm going to start from scratch, and we are going to go to Add New. And we give it a form title. We're going to say Sponsor a Student. You can give it a form description. I think the title's descriptive enough for our purposes now. And what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to add a name, phone, email. These are all under advanced fields right here. And we're going to need to add, let's just add like a paragraph text. And we're going to call the paragraph text your message. So to edit these, they're basically, you can drag them and drop them to be wherever you need them to be. And to edit, you just click this little blue arrow right here, and it brings down some of the stuff that you can mess with. For the purposes of contacting people, it's pretty straightforward. Shouldn't have to mess with much. One thing I do often is I change the field size to large. Or you guys are using Gravity Forms, so you can look up something called Gravity Forms Ready Classes, and they'll give you a class. A class is basically like an identification, and I usually put phone and email in column or two columns, so they're side by side instead of like this. I'm gonna pause this and go grab those and come right back. All right, and I'm back, and I'm just gonna paste this into here, and I will have the link to grab these from to modify these outputs a little bit around the tutorial for this. And then for the email, I want it to be on the right side, so I'm gonna change the field size, and I'm gonna change left to right. Did I change the field size here? I did. Okay. Here, if you don't want people to type a whole bunch of stuff, you can change different things as far as how many letters are allowed. My best advice for stuff like this, as there are so many fields to choose from, is to just play around. You guys know you're using Gravity Forms. You've used it on your current site for a while. And so there are a number of tutorials to do more advanced stuff, and I'm available if you have something specific that you're trying to create for the JELF site. So we have made name a required. Click in that required box. We've made phone required, and I want to make email required. And one thing we're going to do for this form is we're going to add a checkbox for people to be able to sign up for email, and we'll look at how to connect that here. So to do that, I'm going to find a checkbox. I'm just going to click that, and we're going to ask them a question. Can we add you to our newsletter? And if they click sure, we're going to make sure that they're on it. And now we're going to click update. So from here, we did the edit area. So now we're going to go through these. So on the form settings, This brings us to the form title, description. Many of these you don't have to mess with. Many of them are already created for continuity on the front end for your website in the forms module. One thing I would do is I would change like the form button text a lot of times. So I'll change this to get in touch. For longer forms, if you guys have pages and pages of forms that you're using, they can do a save and continue. Maybe there's information required for the form and they need to go get that and come back. They can come back to it later. And if they do that, it still lets you collect the information they've already entered, and it's a lead for you. I usually click the spam honeypot down here. There's a number of things here too. If you need to schedule a form to only show on a certain day or a certain period, you can do that here as well. You can limit the total number of entries that someone can do, and you can also require a user to be logged in to fill out a form here. If you have something for your staff and they need a form to fill out, they can log in and then fill the form out. So we're going to update these form settings. Next, we're going to go to confirmations. Confirmations are what people see when they have filled out the form, and so we're going to change this to thanks for your interest in sponsoring a student. We'll be in touch. And there's a few options here. One that I use on many sites, especially sites that have PDF downloads or like nurture campaigns, or like you're trying to create leads from like if you have a lead magnet or something like that. Say in the future you have a PDF that a student can download, like 7 pitfalls of bad loan management. I don't know, but something that would engage. That's a I say something that would engage a student. I can't remember being 19 and wanting to really read anything about that. But say you have a PDF lead magnet download, and so they fill out the form, and then you can select the page that you want them to download the lead magnet from. And so instead of seeing the validation message, you redirect them to a page so that they can go somewhere else, or you can redirect them to somewhere else entirely, not on your website. And one neat thing here is that you can pass field data via query string. And all that is a fancy name for you can put their information on the page that you're redirecting them to if it's on your site, or you can pass the coded part information on to whatever page you're redirecting to. For here, we're just going to use the text version and save this confirmation. Next is the notifications. So here we have an admin notification. We're going to edit this one. So here we can select the name of the notification. We can choose who it goes to. I am going to grab Jay Shire's email from the bottom of this page. I think it was still on this one. So copy that email address. I'm going to copy it into the send to email. We're going to say it's from the JELF website. And from email, we're just going to say info@jelf.org. The reply to email, this is really neat because instead of, a lot of times when new forms are created, people forget to select the reply to email. And so if you were to reply to this, it would go to info.jelf instead of the person that's trying to sponsor a student. It's just a habit we have, clicking reply, right? So what we're going to do is on the reply to, we are going to select email, and that would make it go to the email of the person that filled out the form. You can also CC somebody else on this as well. And down here, all the forms fields populate right here. So we're going to say, hey there, someone wants to sponsor a student. Here's their information. And then all the fields will populate below that. And now I'm going to update this notification. This is giving me a warning because it's not on jelf.org yet. It's on my development site at the time. Personal data, not really worried about that right here. We don't have GDPR laws yet in America. Next, I'm going to click on MailChimp. Here's where we can set up a feed for someone filling out this form to have their information, their email, their name, first name, last name sent to MailChimp. And so we are going to click Add New. we're going to say this, we're going to call this feed sponsor a student opt-in. And we're going to select a list from the million you guys have. We're going to send it to general JELF news. And here we need to match these fields. So, draw the lines over to email, first name, last name, last name. For now, so that we can verify it's working, we're going to take off the double opt-in. And we could just click update settings, and anybody that filled it out would be automatically signed up. We don't want to do that though, because we want to make sure that only the people that click the checkbox for can we add you, those are the only people that are going to get signed up. So we're going to make sure that condition is set, and then we're going to click update settings. Now let's go back to the sponsor student page. Jump into the page builder. And edit this page, edit this form. And we're going to say that this is the sponsor a student form. Here's my information. So we're going to save this. Click Done Publish. And then we're going to fill it out. And I'm just going to say this is test at MailChimp. No, I probably don't need to use MailChimp, do I? I'm just going to say test at jelf.org. Test 1, 2. Stuff and such goes right here. I do want to be added to the newsletter. And I'm going to click Get in Touch. And it gives me this, thank you for your interest in sponsoring a student. We'll be in touch. And so now we should be able to go to MailChimp. This general JELF news, yes. Refresh, and you can see that my test 1, 2 is right here. Now before we leave, we're going to look at one more thing. This test at mailch.com comes from another form on your website. Now that we've gone through the form and connecting, we're going to look at one more piece, and that is adding tags to people that come to your website. That is from the get a reminder when our next application period opens, I believe. No, that's from the subscribe for updates, sorry. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to add one to the get a reminder when our next application period opens. So we're going to click edit. Here we have our general information. We're going to make sure that we get their name, make sure that we get their email. And then down here, they have to select, I'm in college, I'm in high school, I'm a relative of a potential applicant, I'm an agency rep. I'm going to say change the value of that to relative. And then I'm going to click update. And next, we're going to go to the MailChimp settings here. We don't have a feed yet, so we're going to add a new feed. And we're going to say this is current loan interest feed. And now we're going to select current loan interest from the MailChimp list. We're going to look at selecting a field, email. We don't have a phone number on that one. It's just email and first name, last name. And here is where we see the tags come into play for how people are organized in MailChimp. So what we're going to do is we're going to add I am I am in there, and whatever they select should be what comes up in MailChimp, fingers crossed. And we're going to click Update settings. And now we're going to go to, let's go to the applicant page and click on the get reminded area. So we're going to get a reminder and stop. I am Andy Pete. My email is anothertest@jelf.org. Anothertest@jelf.org. Probably need to check and make sure that the double opt-in is not. And when we're testing, always make sure that opt-in is off. And just for the sake of this, I'm going to refresh. Let's go back in to get a reminder. We're going to say my name is Andy Pete again. Another test at jelf.org. Another test at jelf.org. And we're going to say that I am still in high school. And I'm going to sign up for a reminder. Thanks for opting in to get updates for the next application season. Check your inbox for instructions and to verify your email. I'm not going to do that because we turned opt-in off. And now I'm going to go to MailChimp. And I'm going to pause you to make sure it works so I'm not embarrassed. And I'm in luck because I don't have to be embarrassed. Another test.jelf.org is right there. And I have the tag of still in high school. So this helps you organize the 4 types of people that might be filling out that get reminded form, and you can customize your emails based on tags to send targeted emails to those people in that group. And another thing you can do here is once the current loan period has ended, you can remove people from this group. So you would just click the people that you want to do. You can move to an audience, and you can move these people to the general email list. And you can only, maybe you just want to move students, or maybe you want to leave the agency reps in here. And so you could just select the tags of still in high school, in college, or parent of a rep or a parent of a potential student, and you can move those guys to another another list, and have this list continually be the leads coming in from your website for wanting to know when the next loan season is open. I think that about wraps it up for forms. Yep.